Setia Salim from Indosite. I'm here to talk with Marissa Desi, the co-founder of Indosite. Marissa has worked with over 50 foreign companies in Indonesia. An interesting fact that she never failed any company registration application in a country that ranks among the most difficult countries in the world to do business in. That makes her an excellent person to talk about how foreign investor can set up a company in Indonesia and what is behind her 100% success rate. Hi, Marissa.
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
Thank you for coming here
Yeah.
for the interview.
Yeah, I'm really excited for today.
So, is it possible for foreign investor to set up a 100% foreign owned limited liability company in Indonesia?
Yes, of course it is possible. In fact, there are so many business activities can be owned by foreign investor. Business that is closed or open with a limitation actually are regulated under the negative investment list, which is issued by the head of Investment Coordinating Board of Indonesia. So for foreign investor who want to invest in a business that is not listed in that negative investment list, they can invest 100% fully owned.
So, can you give me an example on that case?
So basically, the negative investment list issued by the BKPM is to protect the small and medium-sized Indonesian local companies. So, for example, they expect for foreign investors to invest in a larger scale. For example, in the tourism business, for hotel with the 1-star and 2-star, it is closed for foreign investor. But if investor want to add up the star in the hotel, for example, like star 3, star 4, star 5, they can invest 100%.
How to incorporate the company?
So to incorporate a foreign-owned company, or widely known as a PTPMA, it is actually really straightforward. But foreigner need to understand first the business activities, second one where will be the business location, the office and the project location, and then the third one is defining the company structure itself. After the company is actually incorporated, they can open a bank account right away and then issue a working permit, but only to the director and the commissioner of the company.
I see. So, is there any other licenses after the company is incorporated in Indonesia?
Yes, actually, the Investment Coordinating Board expects all the foreign companies to apply for a permanent business license. Permanent business license can be applied when the company is actually starting to do their commercial activities. In some cases, for example, for industrial companies, they need to install at least 80% of their machinery, so they're ready to actually produce, and then they need to apply for permanent business license. When the company have the permanent business license, they can freely do all the commercial activities, and then they can issue the working permit for all foreign workers that they want to invite to Indonesia.
I see. So, how long the company could operate with those licenses?
Based on the new regulation of the Investment Coordinating Board, the permanent business license is issued to the company, and then it is given for the whole time the company is actually doing the activities or the commercial activity, unless it is regulated differently in the regulation. For example, for some construction company, it only runs around 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, on your previous explanation, you mentioned about the structure of the company. So, how is the minimum structure of the company itself?
So basically, based on Indonesia Limited Liability Company regulation, the minimum structure of the company need to have at least of 2 shareholders, and then they need to have 1 commissioner and then 1 director.
Okay, but the shareholders, who can be the shareholders? And how many percentage, the minimum percentage of 1 shareholder?
So basically, if the company wants it to be 100% owned by foreigner, then the shareholders can come from 2. So the first one is the shareholder can be a foreign entity or a foreign limited liability company, and then the second one can be a foreign individual. But the second question, how much percentage one shareholder can own?
Yeah.
As long as the minimum amount of the share is 10 million rupiah, or in USD is around 1,000 USD, then she can own it. So it can be 1%, it can be 2%, it can be 0.4%, as long as it is not less than 10 million rupiah or 1,000 USD.
Can you explain me about the differences between the commissioner and the director?
So basically, the director will be handling daily operational, and he will be responsible for the operational of the companies. The commissioner is basically the board of advisor to the director. So commissioner have the rights to give advice to the director.
I see. So can expat fill that position?
Basically, expat can fill the position for both commissioner and the directors as long as they are being appointed by the shareholders. But during the registration of a company, at least one of the directors should have the Indonesian tax card. In this case, the shareholders should appoint one Indonesian director who has already a tax card, or he can appoint the expat that is currently living in Indonesia and have the tax card already.
Okay, back again to PTPMA. How much capital should we need to invest in the PTPMA?
So the total investment expected from the BKPM is actually 1.2 million USD. This is the total investment. But out of this total investment, 25% should be actually paid up capital. So basically around 300,000 USD should be mentioned as a paid up capital.
I see. So how long it will take to register or setting up a company or PTPMA itself?
To register a company is take around 2.5 months until 3 months. It depends also on the availability of the foreign investor to sign all the documents, all the necessary documents.
Okay.
And then sometimes it depends also in the process in the government. But in most of the cases, it's 2.5 months until 3 months.
Very interesting. Any other things that foreign investor could or should aware of about regarding to the PTPMA or registering their company in Indonesia?
Yeah, for the first one is actually about the business activities. So the operating license for the business activities are really vary depending of the business activities. I have mentioned to you the two process of incorporating a company. First is like register the company, and then second one is getting a permanent business license. But depending on the business activities, they need to apply for more license if it's needed. For example, construction company need to apply for construction license. And then wholesale trading for food, they need to apply for the food registry to the National Food Agency in Indonesia, get some halal certification. They also need to get some import license. So depending on the business activities, they need to add one more or two more operational license. And then the second one that the foreign investor need to be aware is the compliance.
I see.
So the compliance is like a lot of foreign investor doesn't know that right away after your company is registered under the tax authorities, you need to report for the withholding taxes every month. So this is something that is really new for foreign investor. They don't know that the withholding tax is reported every month, so they need to understand this one. And then also BKPM required foreign investor to actually report the investment activities for every 3 months for the companies that don't have the permanent business license yet, or every semester for the company who has the business license. So that's two already, yeah. The first one is about their business activity and the additional operating license, and then the second one is about the compliance, and then the third one is actually about the business address. So based on the new BKPM regulation, it is no longer possible for the foreigner who currently using a virtual office address to get a permanent business license. Yeah, so they need to already start from the beginning, need to understand this one, because if they incorporate their company with a virtual office, then they need to change later on in so many documents of their company. So better to have the physical office right away.
If I'm a foreign investor who wants to use Indosite service, so what should I do?
It's actually very simple. If you're a foreign investor and you want to use Indosat service, you can just send us an inquiry through our email, or you can call us right away. Tell us what business activities you want to invest in Indonesia, where is your office location, and then I will reply you back with a very straight to the point process on how you register your company with a form, and we can even start it today.
Very well. It's a very good explanation. Thank you for your explanation. I hope it will give a good insight for the investor who wants to invest in Indonesia. So yeah, thank you very much for your explanation.
You're welcome.